There's nothing that can really prepare you to hear those words, that you have cancer. It's really not like what they show in the movies either, where there's like a definitive moment where you know that this is what it is. It's kind of like a build-up, and you kind of have an idea that this is what's going on, and that's what kind of happened to me.
We are nearing the end of November, which also is Men's Health Month, but the stories of medical challenges men face won't end in December. And this morning we're joined by a young man who's faced a variety of health challenges in his life, but is now part of a campaign to help keep the focus on the challenges and the triumphs.
Yeah, Andre Thurairatnam, a former producer here at CP24 Breakfast, joins us this morning with more on his story and the amazing care he received. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back,
family
Andre.
member.
The band is back together.
Exactly,
Look at that.
It's good to see you. You're looking healthy. You know what? In the TV business, you really do form bonds like family. It's your wedding, and now you have a child on the way.
I do have a child.
I hope I was allowed to say that.
Yo, you're
okay,
totally
good.
allowed to say that.
Too late now.
So how you do? Give us a share your story first of all, and give us a catch up to where we're at.
Absolutely. So I'm here, obviously, supporting the Love Scarborough campaign. My story with the Scarborough Health Network, literally starts from the day that I was born.
Yeah.
I was born 5 weeks premature, and so at Centenary Hospital, I was getting special treatment from the day that I was born, from day one. And I had a bunch of health issues, and I was in and out of these hospitals my entire life. So there was some kind of part of it that's a little poetic about being diagnosed with testicular cancer at one of these hospitals. Mm-hmm. For context, I just gotten married, just bought a new house. I had been experiencing some, in the vast majority of testicular cancer cases, there are no symptoms. You should be performing self-checks. If there's a lump or bump or anything like that, get yourself checked out. I was one of the lucky ones in the sense that I did have symptoms. I experienced pain down in that area, dull ache, that kind of thing, lower back pain. And I did what every guy would have done. I ignored it.
For sure.
Yeah.
For months, I ignored it because that was not a priority for me.
Yeah.
My house was more important. My wedding was more important.
Yeah.
But I urge you, if you're experiencing any of these types of things,
Yeah.
to get it checked out. So I remember I was sitting in the office at Centenary Hospital with Dr. Klinghoffer, the urologist, and he goes, "You are in the age range for testicular cancer. All of your blood work and your scans are showing this kind of thing. We're going to have to operate." And by the time we operated, it was just, a week or two. Cancer had already spread to my abdomen. Wow. So at that point, I got referred out to a cancer center here in Toronto. And I started, I was staring down the barrel at 3 rounds of BEP chemotherapy, which was hard, man. Like, that was very, very tough. Chemotherapy, I mean, you know people who've gone through it. That people lose their hair, there's nausea. Like, man, it was very, very tough. I did 3 rounds, which lasted about 3 months. After the first week, that I was in Monday to Friday every single day. On the Friday, I just remember breaking down in tears on my bed, telling my wife, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this.
Right.
It's too much. But, the mantra with this campaign, with Love Scarborough is, you're going to climb, you're going to conquer, you're going to ascend. And that's kind of what I did. I had people like you guys supporting me through it. I have the best friends and family in the world.
Yeah.
I had people sitting with me at every single chemo session. And finally, after 3 long months, I got to ring that bell.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the day after I rung the bell, I found out that I had nephrotoxicity, which was essentially a chemo-induced kidney failure. Wow. And I found myself back in the hospital.
A day later.
A day later for another week to get that under control.
Yeah.
And then even with all of that, the chemo, the first surgery, the nephrotoxicity, when my scans came back, Andre, you have some chemo-resistant tumors in there. We're going to have to operate. Now, when testicular cancer spreads, and it spreads to your abdomen, it spreads to the back of your abdomen. So they got to displace organs and get in there and get every single one. I think they ended up moving about 30 or so lymph nodes from there, some of which had testicular cancer tumors that had metastasized.
Right.
8.5 hours on the operating table. And and 18 months from the day that I was diagnosed, I finally got put into remission in July.
Right.
Wow.
We are so happy for that,
Oh my
Andre.
gosh.
I mean, your story, it is remarkable, and it really was, one thing after another, but the help you got from the doctors, the support you had, I mean, that must have really helped kind of pull you through here. And I realized, I mean, I followed it along, but I didn't quite understand the intricate details you just described here. Clearly you love Scarborough Health Network and what they've done, but like your family, your friends, the support network must have been an enormous part of you getting to where we are today, sitting on the couch talking about this.
It was everything. It was absolutely everything. There's a lot of the focus that's put on the kind of the physical aspects of that, and yes, it's physically tolling, but not a lot of focus is put on the mental aspect of it, the emotional strain of it.
Yeah.
If I didn't have, help from, again, people like you, from my friends, my family, my colleagues, I don't know what kind of mental state I would have been in for that. That mental battle is just as bad as everything else. And you know what? One of the biggest things, when I got diagnosed and I got told that this is what's happening with me, there's the thoughts, am I going to die?
Yeah.
Am I going to live a normal life? And am I going to be able to have kids? And that was the thing that kind of really stuck with me. And if there's anybody that's going through something like this, keep fighting. You're going to have good days. You're going to have a lot of bad days, but I promise you, when you get through those bad days and you're on the other end of it, there is light, because in April 2026, I'm going to be a father.
Yeah.
And I was told I had less than a 1% chance of that
So
happening.
good, Andre. Andre, so happy for you, man.
you.
Really, really happy for you.
What I'd love to hear about this, too, is getting the communication. It's a scary thing, obviously, getting a diagnosis. I've never had something near to that. But having the doctors, Scarborough Health Network, kind of guide you. Here's the step by step. And I feel that coming from you. And a lot of things you're bringing up, like, I didn't know what the typical age range, but you said there's a specific age range for testicular cancer. I don't know what the pain feels like. That's a personal thing. But being told, here's the steps, and yes, this is what we're doing next, and having the treatment options to do it, communication's got to be unbelievably important.
It's very, very important. And sometimes, when you're in these situations, as a patient, on the inside of it, communication can be as simple as a smile from a nurse.
Right.
When you're at your lowest point and you see someone there with that smile on their face and they're there giving you that support, that changes everything. And that's what I got at the Scarborough Health Network and all the other hospitals that I had treatment at. It was just absolutely incredible. And
Andre, it's an inspiring story. Thanks for sharing it this morning on Wellness Wednesday. This is Men's Health Month. These are important stories. I hope people are listening to that, because that really is just huge. So, Andre, congratulations. Can't wait to see the new baby next year.
Thank you
Great to
so
see you,
much.
man. Great to see you.
I love that, man.
Thank you so
good to
much.
see you. Yeah,
absolutely.
Appreciate this, Andre. Thanks so much. That is Wellness Wednesday here on CB24 Breakfast.